Well, besides marketing, why do clients choose you?
I provide results.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah, 'cause I provide results. And I'm very truthful as well. I'm very honest. I tell them stuff from the beginning. I tell them, hey, look, this is what it's worth. Hey, this is what we can get for it. This is what you can expect. I never overpromise and underdeliver. No, I always say the truth from the beginning.
Shy of closing 100 real estate transactions in 2025, this viral real estate powerhouse is breaking down how everyday people can win in branding, sales, and client trust no matter what industry you're in. Please help me welcome to the Risk Takers Network, Realtor Melissa Orta. So you spent your early childhood in Cuba until the age of 7. What did the daily life look like, and how did that environment shape you who you are today?
So when I grew up in Cuba, I just lived like a regular life, like just a kid's life. Like I went to school a lot. My dad was very heavy on me being very studious. Like that was, I could not study, or I could not get good grades. So I would go to school. In Cuba, school was roughly from like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Every single day. And I would come back home, and then I would have to study even more with him for another 2 hours. And I just lived a very, like, my life was very timed, like time slot, even from an early age, like I had to get good grades, then study more, and then I could play, So I learned a lot about responsibility, especially at an early age, from my parents. And even when I was a child, I feel like I already had a little bit of leadership skills, to be honest with you, because I would tutor all of my friends, even at an early age, like to help them get good grades and help them out. So I would always try and be like involved in the community and with my friends and get along with everybody.
What was your favorite subject?
I actually really enjoyed like reading. It's one of my favorite subjects. I know that's funny, but I love to read even till now. I still read a lot.
If you would have asked me, I would have guessed math.
Math? No, I don't like math.
Yeah. No.
I know, it's just funny. Yeah, no, I love words. Yeah.
All right. So usually, there's a moment in a child's life where you notice that we're not okay financially. When did that moment hit for you?
So I did not have that moment in Cuba at all. I didn't, because Cuba is kind of a very specific situation, because in Cuba everybody is poor. So there's not that kind of
because the way it's ran, right?
Yeah, because the way it's ran, like everybody around me, everybody lived the same life. Everybody struggled. So there was not really this definition of rich versus poor. Everybody was just poor.
Yeah. And the government set it up that way, correct?
Yeah.
For the ones that, don't know about Cuba.
It's set up that way, for the ones that don't know about Cuba, just a little bit of a backstory. So Cuba it's a dictatorship. Like, that is the reality. So everything is controlled. Like, how much food you can get is controlled. I mean, seriously. We had a little booklet, and you would go to where they would have the food, and you could only get 4 pieces of bread. 1 pound of beans, like 1 pound of rice. And that was controlled. What you could watch on TV was controlled. The education was controlled. There was no cell phones. There was no internet. So everything you knew about life was just what was there. There was nothing more to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you did say you experienced the financial hardship when you got to America.
Yes. So that's when I started to realize that there are people in life who have a lot more, and there's others that have a lot less. But I didn't get that in Cuba. I experienced that here. And I mean, I can tell you kind of 2 examples of when that hit for me when I was younger. I'd say when I first got here, my mom and we lived in an efficiency for about 2-3 years. I don't know if you know what that is.
ADU, as they call it, accessory dwelling unit.
Yeah, we basically lived in someone's garage.
Okay.
Like, that's what an efficiency is called, like in Miami when we were living there. It's living in somebody's garage. So I would say my mom and I lived in a room like of this size right here.
Gotcha. And what, did you go to like a friend's house and saw how big their house was?
Yeah, and then one time once I started making friends, because I didn't even know English, I was learning English. I eventually made a friend, and I got invited to a birthday party. And when I went to the birthday party and I saw her house, I was like, wow, like this is the biggest house I've ever seen, you know, like, because mind you, we didn't even have a kitchen, you know, like our kitchen was like this small maybe. It just had like somewhere you can cook in. And like, that's pretty much it. Like your room and your bathroom and kitchen were all in the exact like same place. Like that's where my mom and I lived.
Wow.
So going to a room, like a house where there was a huge kitchen and a living room and a dining room, and my friend's room was bigger than my mom and I's house. That's when I started to realize, like, okay, I don't think we have any money. That was one of the first.
Yeah. How did that environment shape who you are today?
I think it naturally made me very driven because I realized from a very early age that I needed to provide for my parents because they gave up so much for me that I felt like I had this huge responsibility in me to build something for myself and to help them. And I think I woke up to that fact very young, like very young. So I think it naturally made me want to be the best at everything that I do so that I could give back.
Growing up, you know, real estate probably wasn't a dream. What career did you originally see yourself in?
So when I was a little kid, I wanted to be an actress, believe it or not.
An actress?
Yeah.
Do you have somebody that you model, like your life actor? Like, man, I want to be...
Oh man, I was obsessed with
J-Lo on TV?
No, I was like obsessed with Disney Channel when I was a little girl.
Okay.
That's actually how I picked up English, I'm not gonna lie. Because I would watch Disney Channel every night and I would just listen to everything they would say and just repeat it back. And that was like how I picked up English so quick, believe it or not. So I wanted to be an actress when I was a little kid, and I actually went to like a casting, but they just cost a lot of money. So then, you know, I just stopped asking my mom because I just felt bad, honestly.
They had castings in Miami?
Yeah, they had castings in Miami. I actually went to one, and then it was just too expensive, so I didn't go anymore. But that's what I wanted to do when I was a little girl. But then as I got older, I actually really wanted to be a politician. Like when I was in my teenage years, I still have that dream. It's still there. I'll grab it when it's time, you know.
You said the politician came from a grandfather, correct?
Yeah, so there was a lot of, my grandfather was a political refugee in Cuba. So he fought against the Castro regime like most of his life. Like he was in and out of prisons. So I think politics was already like a topic of conversation a lot, like at family gatherings or anything like that. And I kind of just picked up from that because I always felt this, how can I say, it's like I always had this thought in the back of my head of, you know, how come this one person, or at least in Cuba's perspective, like how come this one, you know, leader or person is in charge for all this like pain and destruction and family separation, you know?
I never thought of it that way.
I think about it like that, and that's how I thought of it from an early age. And so I felt like I had this in me that if I was going to be a leader or go into politics, that I was going to do it the right way.
Eventually, you made yourself to real estate. You want to talk about how you got there? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I'll talk about that. So I had a lot of different jobs. Like I started working as soon as I turned 16.
16, huh?
Yeah, as soon as I turned 16, I had a job. I worked in retail. Okay. And believe it or not, that's actually where I got a lot of my sales skills.
Yeah. Wait, what, City Trends, or where you worked at?
I worked in Tilly's. You know Tilly's, the store?
No,
you ever heard of that?
Man. I'm wet behind the ears.
It was such a like hip store when I was 16. But I sold so many joggers. You have no idea how many joggers I sold. Yes, I know. It sounds so funny, but that's where I learned my sales skills because I made it to like top 5 in the whole company. From like Miami all the way up to New York and just selling straight joggers.
Should have asked for a percentage on those sales, man.
Yes. No, it was funny, but that's where I learned my sales skills. And then I started I went into leadership roles too in retail. Like I was a team lead, and then I moved up to management like at a very early age, you know. But I eventually got a job as a teller at a bank. And I think that job is what really changed a lot of things for me, because it's where I started to learn about money. And it's when I started to actually see how much wealth people have out there that you never even think about and that I never grew up with, you know. But real estate came into my mind. I had this customer at the bank who I would see every first of the month. He would come in every first of the month just to strictly ask me if his wire deposit came in. And it wasn't like $10. Like it was like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was like, oh my God, what does this man do? You know? And eventually one day I was like, Danny, can you please tell me, what do you do for work? You know, like I need to know, you know? And he was like, I own a bunch of properties all the way from Miami all the way up to West Palm Beach. And he's like, and I get paid the first of the month from the government. I guess it was probably Section 8 companies.
Okay. Government assistance.
Yeah, government assistance, rentals, or whatever the case may be. And he was like, but prior to that, I was a real estate agent most of my life. And then I eventually went into real estate investments. And he was like, you should really consider being a real estate agent or going into real estate is what he said. And I was like, Danny, no offense, but I only have like $200 right now. Like, you know,
$200 is crazy.
You know, I was like, I don't think I can buy a property right now if I'm being honest. And he was like, no, become a real estate agent. He was like, save up another $300 to $400 so you can buy your course and become a real estate agent. And I was like, I'll look into that, you know? And as soon as he walked out, that's when I Googled how to become a real estate agent. And then I started digging on it. But I didn't act on it right away, actually, because I was working full-time at the bank. I was still in college, so I was working 9 to 5. After 5 o'clock, I'd drive to FIU, the university, do my classes, do my studying. And then after that, I was also studying for my license. So I would leave the university like 3 a.m.
Wow, got you. What year was that you got your real estate license in?
I got my real estate license late 2022, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, so after COVID.
Yeah.
Wow. So you only been in now going on 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
4 years. Yeah.
So I was looking up some stats.
Okay.
And it says that the average realtor sells 10 homes a year. But in 2025, you did 70 transactions. What does that number actually represent in terms of sacrifice, pressure, work?
Yeah. I sacrifice a lot of my time. Like I miss a lot of family gatherings. Like I miss a lot of very special moments, you know, that I wish I could be there for. But I am so committed right now to just becoming the best I can be or building a legacy that I could pass down to my future children, you know, that I have to sacrifice those things. I really do. And it's not, real estate is not something you can do part-time. Okay. I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake. And I think that's why a lot of real estate agents quit. They think you can have a lot of flexibility in this business, and it couldn't be more than opposite than that. You actually have zero flexibility. You work on somebody else's time. Whenever they need you, you're there. If you're not there, somebody else is going to grab it, you know? And it's not even a full-time. I would say it's a 24/7 job.
Tough.
It's tough. Like you have to be available 24/7. If not, somebody else is going to grab it.
It's like entrepreneurship. It's 24/7.
To me, there's absolutely no difference between being a real estate agent and being an entrepreneur / business owner. Is the same exact thing. Being a real estate agent is being a business owner. Like
2025 is the busiest you ever been?
2025 is the busiest I've ever been because I tripled my numbers. I started to work how to leverage my time better and incorporating systems because I was doing everything by myself. And then I instead started to pass down some work and only focus on what will actually build my business the most. Okay. So there's this book I read. It's called, I think it's called Buy Back Your Time.
Buy Back Your Time.
You ever read that book?
No, I got it.
That's a phenomenal book. It taught me a lot about how to leverage your time and how to calculate what your hourly is. And then you get that hourly and you see what it is that you're doing in that hour and you ask yourself, is it worth that? Or can I pass that down to somebody else?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you kind of recruited a team pretty much.
Yeah, so I have a couple of people that work for me. And they do some of the things that take too much time that I cannot do if I want to grow my business. You know, so building that leverage and having the systems to back that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, out of the 300,000 active real estate professionals in Florida, how have you made your name stand out?
So social media is actually what helped me the most because I did not have any connections.
Marketing.
Yeah, marketing. When in late 2022 and 2023, there wasn't a lot of agents doing too much social media, like at the time. Now there's a lot.
You noticed that? You picked up on
Yeah,
that?
I picked up on that. Like it was still like people, you would mention, oh, TikTok, and people would be like, what is that? You know, like nobody really cared as much, you know. And I would post every single day.
On TikTok?
On TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. Every single day, sometimes twice a day. Like I would nonstop be putting out content. I would nonstop be calling people. I would nonstop be door knocking. Like I would not stop. Like you don't understand. Like I was so committed, not just because I wanted to grow my business, but because I needed to survive. Like
Where did you have the fastest results in? TikTok,
it was,
Instagram?
yeah, it was social media. Like I would get nonstop calls from people being like, I just saw you on TikTok. I saw you on Instagram. Can I learn more about how to buy a home? You know, I need to sell my house. You know, like social media was doing it for me a lot.
Did you wish you would have got in real estate during the COVID height, or you think you just got in at a perfect time, like the time that?
I mean, I feel like when I first started, it was like late 2022, 2023. It was still kind of a good market. There was still some competition. Like a house would come on the market and there would be like 10 people outside wanting to see that house like in an hour. But then it definitely slowed down and it got a lot harder. It got a lot harder and a lot of real estate agents quit the business because a lot of them do after the market gets tough. But I think you need to learn how to get through every type of market. You know, whether it's a good market, whether it's a bad market, it's not necessarily about that. It's about you. One way to look at it is just to continue to push marketing, continue to educate people, because there's no bad or good market. It's just those are like headlines, you know. Like the best time to buy a house is when you're ready. The best time to sell a house is when you need to. So it's about educating people on that. You know, because everybody always focuses on the negative, but there's always a positive. So it's about how to navigate the client through that.
There's an opportunity in every crisis,
Yeah.
as they say.
Yeah, there's always an opportunity. People, no matter the market, people are still buying. No matter the market, people are still selling. If you base your business based on what's going to happen tomorrow, you'd have no business.
No, 100%. Well, besides marketing, why do clients choose you?
Because I provide results.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah, because I provide results. And I'm very truthful as well. I'm very honest. You know, I tell them stuff from the beginning. I tell them, hey, look, this is what it's worth. Hey, this is what we can get for it. This is what you can expect. I never overpromise and underdeliver. No, I always say the truth from the beginning.
What's the most asked question for somebody that's trying to buy a home?
People always ask me a lot about how much money they need. A lot of people think you need a lot of money to buy your first home. And that's actually not true, because I've had clients get into a home with less than $7,000.
That's good.
Or even $5,000. I've had some clients come into a home with like $0.
Yeah, I'm trying to be that client right there.
Yeah.
$0.
Yeah, no, there's so many programs and things that you can do. But my biggest piece of advice to people is always just the credit. It's always the credit. Credit is so important. It's so important. Everything else we can figure out, but we can't figure out the credit.
Yeah, credit.
Yeah.
Would you recommend them to come to the table with 700 and above? Or like, I know you can get it as low as 580.
Yeah, you can get in as low as 580. I would recommend getting the high six.
Okay.
Yeah, get in the high six just so you can get better deals.
Right.
Yeah.
What drives you? What gives you, that dog in you to outsell, your competition?
Yeah.
And
I've always been very competitive. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I think I was born to be competitive.
You played sports in high school or anything?
No, I didn't. Yeah. No, I was not competitive in that sense. Like, I've never been sportsy. I've always been, like, book smart. I've always been like that. Like, in school, I always had the best grades. I graduated top 5% in my class. Like, everything that I did, I had to be the best. I don't know why. I don't know if I was born with that. But I also think my background plays into that too, because I've seen what it's like to be at the bottom. I've lived through it. And for the longest time, I think it was more about survival and never going back there for me. But now it's more about legacy and faith-based and creating a change, you know, to build something that is long-lasting, you know. But my biggest drive is my parents. I think about them all the time. I think about how much they gave up for me, and I just want to repay them. Like, that's my biggest drive. But also, I would say another one of my drives is the opportunity to even be here in this room, because I could have just been in Cuba, you know. I could have just lived a very difficult life, you know. But the fact that I'm here and I have this opportunity, I'm going to make the best of it, you know.
And you're doing well with that. You're taking full advantage.
Yeah.
You know, in your opinion, where's the best place to buy a home in South Florida and why?
In my opinion right now, believe it or not, it's Lehigh Acres. I really do believe it. When I first started selling real estate, I would mention people, I really want to focus in Lehigh Acres. I would get a lot of faces.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm not joking. A lot of people would be like, why? Why do you want to work in Lehigh Acres? And I would be like, because there's a lot of people in this community, and like this community matters too, you know? Because I think sometimes it gets overlooked a lot. I really do think so.
Yeah. Did you see something in Lehigh, of course, besides the community? Like what?
I saw that I saw there was a lot of desperation for people to get into a home because things were getting so unaffordable.
In Cape Coral?
Yes,
Fort Myers?
in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Everything went up in price so much after COVID that I think a lot of people were struggling and looking for options on where they could even buy a home. And I think Lehigh still provides that opportunity for people. For your average person, it provides that. You know, it still gives them a chance to have the American dream. Whereas in many places around them, it doesn't. You know, in Miami, it's super difficult. In Fort Lauderdale, it's super difficult. Naples, forget about it. So it's like, what are they left with? It's Lehigh Acres. And this is just the beginning of Lehigh. Like, it's going to be unrecognizable in the next 10 years. So get in now while you still can, because in the future, it's going to be the same exact price as the rest.
If a real estate agent wants to go from average to elite production, what's the first uncomfortable truth that they need to accept?
One uncomfortable truth is that it would be that you can't just do this whenever you feel like.
Like the whole go full-time, 24/7?
You're either all in or you're out.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I view it. Real estate is cutthroat. That this is why more than 70% of real estate agents make no sales. The top 5% of real estate agents have all the sales. You know, what is the difference there? Is that they're fully committed. They do this from the moment they wake up till they fall asleep. They have the systems, they leverage their time, and this is all they do. And I also think another thing too is this industry gets glamorized a lot.
What do you mean by that?
I mean
Tell me more.
Yeah, I'll tell you more. Ever since the Netflix shows have come out, like the real estate Netflix shows, I think a lot of people have the wrong idea of what this is. They think it's like you're gonna go from zero to selling a $5 million home in a month. Okay, and that's not the reality unless you have the connections, you know, or unless you have, you know, a very wealthy family or something like that. That's not the reality for most real estate agents. It takes years to build a business like that, to get to that level, right? So a lot of them come in thinking, this is what I'm gonna achieve right away, and then they leave disappointed, or they realize how long it actually takes to even get your first sale, you know?
What's the average on the first sale?
The average real estate agent, I'm telling you, 70% don't even sell a home a year.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I was asking for me, because I try to become a real estate agent. I don't want to be discouraged if I don't sell within the first 6 months or a year.
No, but that is normal. It's what I'm trying to get at. That is normal. In my first year in real estate, I mean, this is some information, but I made like $15,000.
$15,000 in the first year? That's good. That's really good.
That's like not even minimum wage.
Yeah, but still though, I mean, some people, I don't know how many homes that is, but...
No, that was like 2 to 3 homes. I did not sell that much, and all that money disappeared.
But you wasn't full-time
No,
at
I
that
was
time yet.
full-time.
Oh, well, that's bad.
I was full-time. I was full-time because there's a lot of real estate agents. Like, especially, I believe in Southwest Florida, there's roughly 5,000 real estate agents. There's a lot of real estate agents, and it takes a while to build your name.
Yeah. Where you placing that 5,000?
In those 5,000,
What percent you think?
I need to look at the numbers. They should be coming out soon.
Okay.
And I'll get back to you on that because I'm not sure. Yeah, I went from making 15,000 a year my first year to over six figures every year after that.
7 figures in 2 years from now, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the point.
Yeah. But that did not come easy.
No. Nothing comes easy.
Like, that did not come easy. Like, it didn't. The people closest to me will tell you how much I've had to sacrifice. Like, I have no life. Like, that is a reality. Like, I'm not joking when I say that. Like, I have no life. I work 24/7. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm working.
Yeah. Then you sell a home this morning at 7 a.m.?
Not today. Not today. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I'm on vacation. I have people writing to me. You know, I went to Thailand a year ago, and I was in Thailand opposite timing, and I'm here writing contracts. Like, at 3 a.m. Thailand time. You know, like, this is what I mean. You have no life.
Yeah, but you know, it's got its pros and cons, just like everything.
Yes, it does.
You
have to be passionate about it.
All right, so you were talking about your trips and personal life. What do you do for personal growth and to strengthen your mindset?
I wake up really early, actually.
What time is early? Give us a rundown of your...
I wake up from 5:30 to 6 every day. To me, that's early. I need to get my beauty rest.
So what do? You meditate, you pray?
Yes, I work out. I do Pilates or yoga. Yeah, in the morning. I love that. I read, I pray. I pray every morning. I have to pray. You know, I pray about my day. I pray that it's a good day filled with many opportunities, with good conversations, meeting good people, you know, to provide the best service for my clients. That helps me a lot. I journal, I read. I spend a lot of time with animals, as I'm sure you know, with dogs. I have a dog, I have chickens, I have bunnies.
You got chickens and bunnies?
Yes.
Okay. You got a whole farm in the back of your house. I'm gonna come to you for eggs, man. So they're expensive.
Yes, and I garden too. I garden as well. Okay. Yeah, so being outside in nature helps me a lot. I love nature.
Mindset.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know. You didn't tell me that outside off camera that you had chickens and you just mentioned the dog.
No, and this is just a beginning for me, to be honest. I mean, one of my dreams is to have like a nonprofit for animals. I just love animals. Yeah. I don't know. I always have. Yeah. Yeah.
You see yourself having like a ranch with horses,
cows,
elephants maybe. So
I don't know about elephants, but you know, yes, I do.
You know, it's got a limit.
It depends. I have a mixture. I read either business-related books or financial stuff, but I also read a lot of self-reflection and spiritual books.
Is there a real estate book for real estate agents that you recommend them reading? Yes,
there's actually a really good book called $1 Million Real Estate Agent.
Okay.
And I believe it was written by the CEO of Keller Williams. And that's a phenomenal book. The first time I read that book, when I first became a real estate agent, I didn't understand it at all. Okay. Like, I was like, what is he talking about? Because he was just talking about nonstop systems and all this stuff. And I was like, I have none of this. Like, I had no idea what he was talking about. But then I've read it 3 times now. And the more I read it, the more it makes sense to me about what he's talking about. That's a good book. All the Ryan Serhant books are phenomenal books, too. Ryan Serhant is one of my...
Yeah, he's the real deal.
He's like my hero, you know. Like, in real estate, I would say I look up to him a lot because I used to even watch him when he was on the $1 Million Listing New York before he even had the Netflix show. Yeah. I look up to him a lot because I think he's one of those people that is very driven as well and works really hard.
Yeah, no, I know of him because of that show. Yeah. Did you read the book, the real estate book by Keller Williams? Did you read that before you read the timing book?
Buy Back Your Time. I read that last year. Yeah.
Okay. But that's the one I really like.
That book is a great book. Okay. For business owners. You don't even need to be a real estate agent. It's not necessarily about real estate. It's about business owners and you know, any entrepreneurs. It mentions all the the biggest entrepreneurs in this country and how they're able to run, you know, 5 to 10 businesses at the same time.
Yeah, because it's hard.
But they work 1 to 2 hours a day.
That's the goal right there.
Yeah. So it's like, how do they do it? They have the systems. They leverage their time. They have the right people working around them. That's how you grow a business. You can't do it by yourself.
When you read that book, to buy back your time, is that when you started to get creative to make the real creative videos, or you was already making those type of videos that made you go viral?
No, those creative videos, I've been doing that for a while. Yeah, way before that. But I've always been naturally creative. Like I've always been a little bit of an inventor. Like I have an idea and I like to make it come to life. One way or another. You know, my videographer, he's like, how do I even do this? I'm like, I don't know, figure it out. You know, but we gotta make it come to life. You know?
Yeah, now that you probably got, you know, some of the best looking videos in the state of Florida when it comes to real estate. I don't think nobody can top that.
Yeah, you really think so?
Yeah, you and your videographer, you guys are top tier, you know. Shit, our production team even agrees, says the same, that, like, man.
Yeah, but you know, we kind of like grew together, me and my videographer. Because when we first started, if you look one of our first ever videos, you know, it wasn't like amazing. We learned from each other, you know, because he kind of started at the same time as I started.
One of the last questions, what's one piece of advice to an aspiring risk taker?
One piece of advice is that life is too short to not build the life of your dreams or to not go after what you want. You know, the last thing that you want is to grow old and look back and just completely hate that you didn't go after your dreams. You know, that's how I view life. I think anything you set your mind to, you can accomplish. It's all about putting in the work, but not just hard work, smart work. Both of them need to go hand in hand. But just go out there, take the risk. Life is too short. Worst case scenario, you don't reach that goal, make a new one, and you'll reach that one.
And today, fast-paced medical and legal landscape, having your medical and legal documents are vital. At InventCare Consulting Group, we provide medical and legal assistance services for professionals like attorneys, medical providers, and clients. Here is what many practices struggle with and how we help. Incomplete and delayed medical documentation. Breakdowns between medical providers and legal teams. Administrative overload. With InventCare, faster cases, less mistakes, better outcomes.